Hi, I'm Jared Bartley from Cuyahoga Soil and Water Conservation District, and today I'd like to tell you about our Native Urban Tree Starters, or N.U.T.S, program. As you may have heard, the tree canopy in Cuyahoga County has been declining, and our N.U.T.S program is a way that we can both build awareness and engage students in restoring that tree canopy. Our program has four main steps. It starts with collecting tree seeds and nuts, such as acorns, preparing the seeds to grow through the germination process, sprouting and taking care of the seedlings in the classroom, and then once they're larger, planting them in the community. Now I'm going to talk a little bit more about our program with the schools in Cuyahoga County. 2019-20 school year was our first school year for the program, and we saw participation from around 10 schools and over 700 students. Once students had collected seeds and nuts such as acorns out on the schoolyard, they would bring them back into the classroom, and from there they would divide them up by species, count how many of each species they had, and get a chance to use their math and graphing skills. For the next part of the process, we primarily used our northern red oak acorns because we were able to collect a lot of those this fall. The students would place the acorns in a bucket full of water and perform the float test. The acorns that float to the top are not good to continue. The ones that sink to the bottom, we can work with. So once we had sorted out our bad acorns, we put the rest in plastic Ziploc baggies with a soil medium and added some water to moisten that up. Well, we then sealed the bags and placed them in a refrigerator for 6 to 8 weeks in order to mimic the acorns going through the winter outside, but just in a slightly more controlled environment. After a couple months, we'd remove the bags of acorns from the refrigerator, and at this point, they'd be either developing preliminary roots or bursting and getting ready to send those roots out. We'd plant them in biodegradable nursery bags with some potting soil and place them on the windowsill or other bright place where the students could observe their growth. And after a week or two of sunlight and occasional watering, we'd have seedlings growing and the students could measure and otherwise observe their growth until they got big enough to plant outside. So I'm outside my backyard with my son Sam, whose school garden club participated in the N.U.T.S program. Hi, Sam.
Hi.
So do you remember when we came to your school to work with the acorns?
Yes, I did.
So what did we do with the acorns?
So we did like a sink or float experiment. So this is what we did. So we took a bucket of water and we took some acorns that we had collected last fall. And so if the acorn floated, then that meant that it wasn't good to keep. But if the acorn sunk, then that means that it was good to keep.
Okay, great. And then so what did you do with the ones that were good to keep?
We put them in bags like these.
What else is in the bag with it?
It's like soil. It's like really moistury soil.
Okay. And then what did we do with those bags?
We kept them in the refrigerator for at least a good decent few months.
Okay, yeah, a couple months. Okay, and now let's look. So when you put them in there, they were just regular acorns, right? So what do they look like now?
Now they look like this. There's a bunch of roots coming out of them.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So it germinated, right?
Yep.
Okay, so now we're going to plant that in a it's called a nursery bag so that we can let it grow and get a little bigger and healthier and stronger before we plant it outside. So you're going to fill that up with a couple scoops, right? Okay, and now you got a couple scoops in there, right? So we're going to...
So we're gonna put the acorn in the bag, but so you want to make like a little hole in there so that the roots can be down there, and if they're like coming out from all the directions, like this one is, then you can add a little scoop.
And you want to try to get the root pointing down, right?
Yeah. Sometimes They're all facing crazy.
And then we'll let that grow. We'll make sure to keep the soil moist, and once it grows a little bit bigger, we'll be ready to plant it outside. Thank you, Sammy. Before we wrap up, I also want to take a minute to thank Colleen, our AmeriCorps member from the N.U.T.S program. She's been instrumental in getting out to the classrooms and really working with the students, and we couldn't have had the success that we've had with this program so far without her on board. Finally, if your school, classroom, youth group, scout group, or whichever group you belong to would like to participate in the N.U.T.S program, please check out the link on our website or give me a call or email at the end with my information listed right there on this slide.